If you like what you see, why don't you think about subscribing? And make sure to check out my channel for videos just like this.
What's going on, folks? It's MrBucketlist here, and today I'll be presenting the full complete guide to the Norwegian gym. First, starting off with a complete food tour. Now that food tour is going to include the buffet, specialty dining, the main dining room, and then all the above, so room service and things like that. After that, I'll be doing a fully narrated complete ship tour. So I pretty much go deck by deck and show every single area on this cruise ship. So some highlights are things like the theater, the casino, a full room tour, the spa, the gym, the pool deck, and all the above. So again, that will also have timestamps as well. So I hope this video really helps out. Enjoy. I'll see you soon. So as usual, I start my tour around 5:30 a.m. in the morning. So if you all are curious and new around here as far as why there's not that many people in my videos, that's what's going on. I like to do this for you all just so you can actually see everything without foot track and stuff like that. This is Magenta. This is one of the main dining rooms that's on board. NCL does have some beautiful dining rooms, and I mean, of course, it's included with your cruise ticket and things like that. But what kind of stands out with their dining rooms compared to other cruise ships is they always have beautiful views of the ocean. And so if you get there early enough, or you just have a small party, most likely they'll put you near a window, which is really cool. Now on to just more of the lounge areas and things like that. This is one of the bars that's actually near the casino. This area will be packed during the nighttime. You will see so many people around here because like I said, it's near the casino, which y'all see in a bit. But then there's also near like this little stage where they have like musical acts and things like that as well. Plus, of course, it's a bar. So again, like I said, it's in a really good location and it's not bad. And as you all will see, so again, this is 5:30 in the morning, but there were some people that were just sitting there talking, some young kids. So again, it's a really good hangout spot. Now, as we keep on walking, again, like I said, they will have bands and stuff that come around here. So just kind of, again, if you want some low-key music, this is the place to go. The casino. My favorite place to go to the casino. Again, for people who's not familiar with my channel, I have never gambled in my life. I've never gambled on a cruise ship. So every time I come to talk about these casinos, it's always, I don't know, it's just always a challenge because, again, I don't know what to really say. It's a casino. This one is fairly large, again, for the ship this size. It's kind of weird. We were parked beside Utopia of the Seas, which is one of the world's biggest ships. Not the world's biggest, but it's amazing how this ship feels big when you're in it, but when you're parked beside actual huge ships, it's just like night and day. But either way, like I said, this casino is cool. I actually did come here a couple of times because, ironically, this casino is the closest bar to the theater. This theater right here, Stardust Theater. So if you want to get a drink, because everyone has the drink package, there's not that many people walking around with taking drink orders and stuff like that. So you need to go to the casino. This is one of the meeting rooms. So if you're here on a conference or something like that, you can come in here and rent this area out. This is right near the entrance to the theater. It's a pretty good sized space, and like I said, it's a nice and quiet zone and stuff like that. I was surprised that it was unlocked because usually they have these areas locked. But again, if you want to do a meeting on the cruise, here you go. Now again, this leads up to the theater, and you can tell this is an older style ship just because of the artwork and stuff like that, and even the carpet. A lot of stuff does not look like this with the newer ships. But here it is. Here it is. So it almost reminds me of like Mardi Gras or something with the design and things like that. Now I did like this theater because it had multiple levels. Clearly it's a good size for this cruise ship. I had no issues whatsoever. The shows on this cruise were actually really good. I was very surprised. This is essentially a weekend cruise, at least how it's being used now. I know it's heading to Jacksonville. I did this from Miami. But I was very surprised because usually with weekend cruises, they don't really go all out, especially with older ships like this. But the entertainment on this cruise ship was really good. So I highly recommend it. One thing I will say is The Price is Right was a show that we were supposed to see, and it got canceled due to technical difficulties. So, yeah. Right here is one of the walkways. So outside of the theater, you can go outside and just like catch the ocean and stuff like that. It does not wrap around the entire cruise ship, so keep that in mind. But there you go. And that's one of the main performers from the theater show. Okay, so we are heading to Trade Winds. Now again, every cruise ship pretty much has some type of shops on board and things like that, or like duty free and things of that nature, and so this is no different. Again, because it's so early in the morning, that's the reason why there's so many gates and stuff that's on the shops. But if you're someone that likes to come on cruise ships and shops, again, like I said, you will not be you will not be disappointed. They have more than enough on this cruise ship. Okay. And then as we keep walking, so this leads to some more of the different restaurants. So around here, you have the teppanyaki, you have the Asian restaurant, the Orchid Garden. You just have like a lot of different Asian just cuisine in general. I have done a full food tour, so if you all want to check that out, or it'll be my complete guide, which may be a part of this video. But either way, like I said, I did try these places out. All the food on this cruise ship was actually really good. I really enjoyed it. And then this beautiful chandelier as well. Now, one thing that's cool about this cruise ship is they actually have these little benches, as you can see on the side, where you can just kind of sit without actually finding a chair. So that was pretty cool. And here is the main atrium. So again, all NCL ships pretty much have an atrium like this. Now, they do differ from the ship classes and stuff like that. They always have something going on in here, and I loved it. Not to mention, you'll see it in a little bit when the bars is right above, so you can eat and watch TV and watch games and stuff like that. It's really nice, and I love the LED panels at the top, how they change colors. This is very, very nice. And right here is guest services. So as you all can see, they are open. So if you need to come to them early in the morning, they'll be there for you. And then your more at sea package. Now over here as well is the different tender tickets and things like that. So if you go to Great Star Up-K, at least as of this video, you do have to take a tender boat. They are working on the dock. But thankfully for this particular cruise, they didn't have any tender system or anything like that. But this is your shore excursions desk. So if you want to book excursions or cancel something, here you go. And also your cruise nest steps. So again, all of this is located in the atrium, restaurant, guest services, seating, everything you need, even photos for the stairwell. Now, this is also still in the atrium. You can go and buy some watches and things like that. And then what I'm heading to right now is one of the areas where you can go and buy cameras. So, well, actually, no. Before I go there, this is Starbucks. I know a lot of people, I don't drink coffee, but a lot of people do. If you want Starbucks, yes, it's on this cruise ship, and yes, it's in the atrium. So, literally, the atrium is the spot. But going back to what I was saying earlier, so this is where you can go and take professional photos and things like that. Look at your photos, but also if you have any issues with your camera. So, for example, one of my camera battery stopped working, and so I potentially could have went here and bought the battery. Thankfully, I have some more, but they do sell things like GoPro and stuff like that. Bliss. So this is a club I never made it to. This is one of the clubs that's on board. At least when it was closed down, it looked pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, it was very nice. So this is essentially the nightclub that's on board. As you all will see in this video, there's so many different places. By the way, they have some slot machines over there. But there's so many different places on this cruise ship. Being that I was only on here for essentially 2 nights, well, no, 3 nights, it's hard to do and see everything. And you all know what I'm talking about if you ever do this cruise, a 3-night, 4-night cruise. But that was Bliss. And this is the stairwell, so they will take pictures here. And this does lead up to one of my favorite restaurants, the 24-hour included restaurant, the bar and grill, the pub food. Again, like I said, I've done a full food video about this, which you all probably see, but I love coming here. It's open 24 hours. It was open as of that recording, surprisingly. I could have went in there and got some food or whatever. They do serve breakfast, lunch, dinner, and late night dinner and stuff like that as well. And they have a bar. And this is the area, this is the view that you'll get if you're actually sitting at the bar while eating. So that light is kind of in the way, but it's still kind of cool to be there. And then like most pubs, they do have that like pub atmosphere. So they do have like the different things on the wall and stuff like that. Okay, so here we are in room 5057 on NCL Gym. First we'll start off on the left. We have a safe right there. And then you do have a closet. Alright, so one thing I didn't want to forget is the closet. So it does have enough space for you to all to put it in a couple of bags. So I have it turned that way, but you can also turn it this way. And it'll still shut, so you literally can have about 3 bags in here inside this closet. Some hanger and then shelf storage as well. Now I am in here by myself, but this can fit 2 people. This is just a standard interior room. To the right you have your bathroom here. It's a nice sized shower. That's me. Nice and clean. Yes, it's a little bit old school, but either way, it's nice and clean. That's all that matters. That's actually a good sized bathroom. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty nice. Over here, you have your temperature control. I don't know what it means by a quick cool. I hit it. It's not really doing nothing, so hopefully that means it cools down the room pretty quickly. This is not one of the rooms that needs like a key card to keep it powered up. So as long as you're in here, it's gonna work. Moving on over here, so they do have some cubbies. Now, I don't know if that's included with the drink package or not. I'll try to find out and put some stuff in the description. But you have this little area right here. This actually looks very familiar to the Pride of America and how that room is set up, which they are the same class ships, so that makes sense. There's like a little desk, you can pull it out and stuff like that and use that to eat or whatever you want to do. And then you do have your bed. So this is essentially, it looks like a king size bed, but it does have the two, if you see the split down there. It has the two beds pushed side by side. Now this TV, this is like a, oh my god, this is probably a 18-inch TV. So I mean, of course you don't come on cruises to watch TV, but if you like a big TV, you are out of luck on this one. I've got a window right there, and then you do have your phone over there. Now as far as outlets, I'm actually very concerned because I've only seen one, right, that one right there. And there are none beside the bed. Let me look behind the lights here. No. So that's cool, you have your little lamp or whatever, but there's one right under the TV, okay. There's an outlet right here as well, so bring your adapter so you can actually use it. That's a European outlet. And there's another one right there as well. So they do have some other outlets, but you have to bring an adapter to use it. Okay, and just for reference, yes, they do have the shampoo, body wash, conditioner, all in here stocked as well. So we have made it to the top decks, and this is heading to the gym, the Pulse Fitness Center. As you all just saw the hours, so from 6 to 11. This gym, again, for the size of this ship, for the age of this ship, this gym was pretty legit. So this is the left side. They have two different sides, the left and the right side. The left side has all the different machines, so the weightlifting machines. They have, as you all can see right here, an aerobics room and cycle room, things like that, where they do classes or whatever, spin classes, aerobics classes. So that's just one section. But if you turn around, then essentially this is where you have everything else. So you have things like I said, weight machines, ellipticals, treadmills, the row machine, everything. I mean, this is legitimately a very, very good gym. And I mean, all these machines, as you all can see, are pretty high tech and new. Like, they're not old, worn out machines, even though this cruise ship is fairly old. Now, of course, they have towels and stuff like that as well. But then to the right side, now there are people in here, so I didn't want to do too much recording, but they do have free weights. A lot of people always get concerned if they have free weights or not. Yes, they do. So, again, like I said, this gym is very legitimate, and they have an old school water fountain. And then this does head to the spa. Now, I did enjoy the spa quite a bit. Right here is one of the hot tubs. It can accommodate about 3 different people. It's kind of high up, so just kind of know that. Like, you'll hit your head in the ceiling if you don't watch out. But this is one of the hot tubs that's out in the public, in the spa. And then this is the thermal pool. Now, this thing is huge. As you all can see, it is, for the size of this ship, is very big. They have that big old, I don't know what the wheel is that you hold on to. But just to kind of show you all, again, I was in the pool by myself. So that's me just having some fun. And then this is just walking around the thermal spa. So to the left, they have the heated loungers. To the right, they have like fruit and stuff like that. And then they do have that view in the front of the ship like most NCL cruises with the spas do. So these are all first come, first serve. This is all the general open area. And just a quick pan. Now I'm going to explain something about the actual left part of the spa. Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier, you all. This is inside the men's locker room. So they have a hot tub, a personal hot tub, showers, loungers. So they have in the middle as well, that's co-ed, but you come in here if you want to get away from women. Then you come in here. They also have a sauna, which is extremely hot. You go in there to die. And then right there is a steam room as well. So yeah, I haven't seen one of these on a ship ever. I've never seen a gender separated like thermal spa, but here it is. And then the beautiful, that's where the new water park is going, by the way. The water park and the new dock, all right there. And right here is me using this hot tub that's in the gentleman's side of the spa. So it's pretty cool. And like I said, it's only it's split by genders. I mean, again, I'm not trying to get into that conversation, but that's just the way it currently is right now. And then as far as the thermal pool, so they do have these different massage chairs. So essentially you lay down, and the bubbles and stuff massage you. And that's the hot tub I was talking about, how high it is. And so you can literally hit your head in the ceiling if you're tall. So be careful when you're walking up there. Right there is like almost like a fountain of water. We hit the button and it just comes just splashing out. And so that feels really good as well. They have it on both sides of the hot tub, the thermal pool. And then this is that wheel I was talking about. I don't know what this is for, but it's pretty cool. Okay, so now that we're at the spa, let's keep on walking. So now we're technically on the area where the pool deck is at. And to the left, this is actually going to be the library. And so again, most cruise ships, they're starting to phase them out now that I think about it, but most cruise ships I've been on do have libraries, and this is no different. I remember when I was on Icon, because the ship was so new, they had a library, but they didn't have any books. It was kind of stupid. But for this cruise ship, obviously it's been in service for a while, so you just come here in like an old school library, just sign it in, sign it out. And if you want to come here and read and have quiet time, you can come here as well. Now, right beside the library, they also have a game room. So again, I'm not here to dictate how anyone should have fun on the cruise. It's your vacation, do what you want. And so if you want to come here and play some cards with your buddies, and this room does get pretty active. Again, this is at this time period, it's about 6:15 in the morning. But when the ship's in in sailing, when it's active, you'll see people in here. You'll see a lot of people in here, and all the games and stuff are provided for free, so you have to pay for anything like that. And then let's keep on walking. So this area is actually pretty cool because it has all these different awards that the cruise ship got and stuff like that. So if you're a history buff when it comes to cruising, especially for particular cruise ships, you'll like this area. The concierge lounge. And so ironically, I didn't know too much about this because I wasn't in the concierge cabin or anything like that. But of course, I still walked in here. So essentially, this is almost like a private bar where they'll have it's for concierge. So they'll have somebody in here who can take care of you. They'll have bar, drinks, and food and stuff like that. Private dining is very nice. Now, I didn't spend too much time in here. I didn't want to get kicked out, but this is what they have for the breakfast time for the concierge guests once it actually opened. A cool tip is, so when you first get on board, you can actually come in here and kind of get out the heat if you want to see what's going on in the pool without being in the pool. Paderno and also Cagney, so the different steakhouses. I do have that in my food video, so check that out. Norwegian gym. So now we're on the actual exterior of the pool deck, and it does include a full-size basketball court. And so again, for a cruise ship this size, this is pretty amazing, and it's clean. I mean, look at that. Yeah, it's got a little bit of water and stuff like that and cracks, but that's just from them cleaning in the morning. But it's actually very nice looking. And then they have a jogging track and also a rock climbing wall. So as you all can see, again, it's pretty cool how much this cruise ship has for the price. I mean, this is probably one of the cheapest cruises you can find on NCL at this very moment. And I mean, essentially, it's just a smaller version of what all the bigger ships have. It's pretty cool, outside of go-karts and stuff like that. The rock climbing wall, again, it does have hours. It does have the weight limit and stuff like that and the age limit. So please check that out. And again, that basketball court has stadium seating, so when they actually hold games and stuff like that, it's pretty cool. And right here is the sun deck. So if you want to get some good pictures or just want to chill in the sun on some false grass, here you go. This is also a helipad if there were an emergency. This is the batter's cage, or golf cage. So you come here, you tee off right there, and then you try to hit that target. Okay, so let's head to the pool. So on the pool deck, they do have full spa tables, and you will see these in use. These are free of charge. And then also the hot tub. So again, now we're finally on the pool deck, one of my favorite places to go, especially in the morning. This does have both an adults and a family-friendly pool. This side I'm showing right now, this is the adults pool. And even though you'll still see kids in there, unfortunately, but at least during the day, during the parties, they do kick kids out. And then the hot tubs. Now, these hot tubs, for the most part, are usually 24 hours unless they're trying to clean it, which like they're doing right now. But as far as the cleaning process, they get it done pretty quickly, and then they open them back up. And right there is the stage. So when they have the pool parties, the nighttime parties and stuff like that, which you all will see in my review, this is where it takes place at. And they basically turn around and they make sure that all angles are able to see them and things like that. So it's pretty cool. And so during the day, you'll have bands set up there and stuff like that. So there's always something going on at this pool deck outside of the early mornings, like right now, for example. And plenty of seating, as you all can see. And then this is the towel station. So if they're not there, you can just sign your name on the sheet and just make sure you return and stuff like that. And so that's one thing I do like. Other places don't have that sign-up sheet, but NCL does. So it's pretty cool. Beautiful morning. Another pan of the adult pool area. And then they do have this outdoor grill. Now this pretty much just serves things like burgers, hot dogs, fries, just the general pool food. But it is cool to actually have actual like food menu on the pool deck. And now I'm on the top tier of the pool deck, and again, just a pan. So right there, that's the family-friendly pool that was to the left. And this is the smokers area. And so this is going to be one of the first bars that's going to be open when you first board on the cruise ship. So I would highly recommend you go here when you first get on. But for my smokers out there, again, I'm not a smoker, but for the people that do smoke that watch my channel, this is where you can smoke at and still be on the pool deck. It's very rare that you actually see a smoking area that's front and center. They're usually off to the side and stuff like that. But this one is front and center, so you can be a part of the activities while enjoying a cigarette. And so I'll give you a hint, even though I don't smoke, for the pool parties, especially the nighttime party, go to that area, get a perfect view. The only thing is you have to deal with smoking and stuff like that. But for me, the guy noticed I didn't smoke, so he put it down. We just kind of sat there and had a conversation. Right here is another lounge I didn't have a chance to go to during the actual sailing outside of doing this tour. This is the Sprinkler Lounge. Again, as you all can see, they have all these different venues on this cruise ship for different activities. So this is another one that's at the very front of the ship. This is more for like presentations and stuff like that. And then it also does connect to a chapel. So again, if you're here, if you're someone that needs to use a chapel for whatever reason, they do have it here on this cruise ship. And then this is another sun deck that they have. So this is right above that smoking area that I just showed you. So this is one of the highest decks on the cruise ship. You'll get some pretty views of the pool deck. You'll get some pretty views of the sun and stuff like that. So I highly recommend coming up here. And then this is another part of the sun deck, but this leads to the front of the cruise ship. And that is pretty much the end of my tour. So I'm going to wrap it up just with walking through this video arcade, and I'll just kind of give some final thoughts. I thoroughly enjoyed this cruise ship. NCL, even though I've done, as of this video, 30 cruises now with over 9 cruise lines, NCL was my first cruise line. And I thoroughly like their cruise ships. They kind of have a good in-between of everything. Like, they're not uppity, so other cruise lines are not uppity like that. They're not like Carnival where they're complete party. It's really the best in between. As you all can kind of see from the actual cruise ship, it kind of caters towards everyone. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to look out for my complete guide if you haven't seen it or if you're not watching it, and I'll see you soon. It's Mr. Bucket List.